Water is heavy. If you dive just 10 feet down, you feel it pressing against your ears. Go 1,000 feet, sunlight disappears. Go 3 miles down, and the weight of the ocean could crush a military submarine like a soda can. Down there, in that freezing dark, there's supposed to be nothing, no movement, no voices, just endless silence. At least, that's what we used to believe, because in the summer of 1997, something broke that silence. A sound exploded out of the deep South Pacific. It was so loud, so massive, that underwater sensors picked it up 3,000 miles away. Scientists told everyone it was just ice cracking, just a glacier shifting. But that explanation never felt right, because glaciers don't have heartbeats, glaciers don't breathe, and glaciers don't hunt. Welcome to Myths and Magic. Tonight, we're diving into the darkest part of the ocean to uncover the truth behind a sound known only as the bloop, and the man who risked everything to find out what made it. To understand why this sound terrified experts, we need to talk about the man who first saw it appear, Dr. Arthur Vance. Arthur was an acoustic oceanographer, brilliant, precise, the kind of man who could recognize a whale call the way you recognize your best friend's voice. He worked for a classified ocean listening program, a network of ultra-sensitive microphones anchored to the sea floor. His job was simple: listen. He knew the sound of submarines, earthquakes, tectonic shifts, every known creature in the ocean. So when the signal appeared on his monitor in 1997, his blood went cold. The waveform on his screen curved upward in a smooth sweep. In acoustics, that shape means one thing: a living source, a vocal sound. But there was a problem. For a creature to make a noise loud enough to travel 3,000 miles, it would have to be bigger than a skyscraper, bigger than anything alive today. Arthur brought his discovery to his superiors. They shut him down immediately. Locked doors, short answers. The official report was changed. They called it an iceberg. Case closed. Arthur was ordered to forget it, but he couldn't. For years, that sound echoed in his mind. Because deep down, he knew something ancient had made it. And he knew one thing for certain: whatever made that sound was still out there. "15 years later, Arthur wasn't famous anymore. He was obsessed. He had spent his savings renting a rusty salvage ship and sailing it into one of the most remote places on Earth, the middle of the South Pacific. His destination? Point Nemo, the most isolated spot on the planet, the exact coordinates where the sound had come from. Arthur brought with him something special: a custom-built deep-sea drone, titanium shell, military floodlights, sensors strong enough to hear a whisper in a hurricane. The crew thought he was chasing a ghost story, but as the ship reached the coordinates, the ocean changed. The wind died, the waves flattened, the water turned black and still, like glass. Arthur gave the order. They lowered the drone. It sank, past sunlight, past darkness, past 2 miles, past 3. Pressure readings climbed higher and higher. And then, inside the control room, the speakers began to hum. At first, it was just a vibration under their feet, a slow, steady thump, like a heartbeat inside the ocean itself. Arthur watched the live camera feed. The drone's lights cut through the darkness, showing nothing but gray silt, empty, lifeless. Then the sonar pinged. something ahead. Not a whale, not a rock, a structure. Towering pillars rose from the trench floor, black stone, sharp angles, covered in glowing green growths. It looked like ruins, an ancient underwater city. Arthur felt a chill run down his spine. The sound wasn't coming from a creature swimming through the ocean. It was coming from here, from this place. The pulsing noise grew louder. The water temperature spiked. The freezing abyss started heating up. Something down there was waking up. Suddenly, the camera feed shook violently. A shadow passed over the lights. Not a shape, a mass. Flesh, pale skin, veins as wide as tunnels. And then Arthur understood. The bloop wasn't a hunting call. As the deafening roar blasted through the speakers, he studied the waveform. It wasn't aggression, it was pain. The pillars weren't ruins, they were a cage. Massive organic cables were embedded into the creature's body, draining energy from it. It wasn't a monster, it was a prisoner. But the drone's lights had triggered something. The ocean floor began to crack. A thermal vent exploded. The stone cage shattered. Freed after thousands of years, the creature thrashed wildly. The water churned into a violent spiral. On the surface, the ship lurched. Waves slammed across the deck. Crew members screamed as the vessel tilted toward a forming whirlpool. The steel cable connecting the drone to the ship pulled tight. It was dragging them down. The captain shouted to cut the line. But the winch was jammed. They were stuck, tethered to something ancient and angry. Arthur realized the truth. The only way to survive was to calm it. Arthur shoved past the crew and locked himself in the control room. He didn't reach for the release lever. He reached for the drone controls. The creature was blind. It reacted only to sound. Arthur started typing commands, fast, focused. He recreated the bloop's waveform, then flipped it. He was building a counter sound, a massive sonic lullaby. To make it strong enough, he rerouted all power to the drone's sound emitter. The cooling system shut down. Warning lights flashed. He was turning his life's work into a bomb. Water flooded the deck. The ship tilted almost upright. Glass cracked. Metal groaned. Arthur slammed the execute key. 3 miles below, the drone unleashed a burst of sound. The inverted wave hit the creature like a wall. Instantly, it stopped moving. Its body went limp. Slowly, gently, it sank back into the trench. Above, the whirlpool collapsed. The ocean slammed flat again. The ship dropped back into place. The cable snapped. The drone was gone. Arthur sat there bleeding, exhausted, staring at the last bits of data. He'd saved everyone, but the final readings showed something terrifying. Those cables attached to the creature weren't ancient, they were new. The bloop wasn't a monster's cry, it was a guard dog's call, and whatever had chained it there was still alive, still down there, still listening. Arthur never spoke about the expedition again, but he lived the rest of his life knowing something terrible. Deep beneath the calm ocean surface, something intelligent is still working in the dark. The ocean went silent after that. The bloop was never heard again. But sometimes, cables snap, signals fail, ships lose contact, and we're reminded of something we like to forget. We don't rule this planet. We're just floating on top of it. So, tell me, if the truth about that sound was hidden in 1997, what else do you think they're hiding down there right now? Let me know your darkest theory. And if you survived tonight's descent, don't go far. Next time, we leave the ocean and step onto land, a place where the shadows are just as deep. Subscribe, stay curious, and remember, the dark is never empty. Sweet dreams and safe travels.